Imagine being betrayed, sold into slavery, wrongfully imprisoned, and yet rising to become the second most powerful man in the world. How did Joseph go from a prison cell to a palace? More importantly, can his story unlock Bible secrets to financial success in times of crisis? Today, we're unlocking the Joseph Code, revealing how Joseph's faith, wisdom, and financial strategy turned a famine into a fortune. If you're facing financial struggles, uncertainty, or crisis, this video is for you. Stay until the end to discover how to apply these biblical success principles today. Joseph's story is found in Genesis 37 verse 50, a tale of betrayal, setbacks, and ultimate success. Sold into slavery by his own brothers at just 17 years old, Joseph was sent to Egypt with no wealth, no power, and no future. But Joseph wasn't just a dreamer, he was a problem solver. At every stage of his life, he used wisdom, discipline, and divine strategy to turn obstacles into opportunities. Genesis 41 verse 41 to 43. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt." What were Joseph's financial secrets? Let's unlock the Joseph Code. Now let's unlock the 5 wealth codes from Joseph's life that can help you prosper in any crisis. 1. The Vision Code, seeing beyond the crisis. Joseph's story begins with a vision. He saw his future success long before it happened. In Genesis 37 verses 5 through 7, God gave him a dream of rising to power, even when his circumstances seemed hopeless. Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. Every breakthrough begins with a vision. Even in financial hardship, you must see beyond your situation and plan for the future. 1. The Stewardship Code, managing resources wisely. Joseph didn't just wait for wealth. He managed what he had, even in hard times. When he worked for Potiphar, he was so excellent with money that he was placed in charge of everything. Genesis 39 verses 2 to 4. The Lord was with Joseph and he became successful. Potiphar put him in charge of his household and he entrusted everything to his care. Wealth is not about what you make, it's about how you manage it. Learn to budget, invest, and multiply your resources. 1. The Crisis Code, turning setbacks into setups. Joseph was falsely imprisoned, but even in prison he prospered. Instead of complaining, he interpreted dreams and provided solutions that eventually led him to Pharaoh. Genesis 41 verses 15 to 16. I cannot do it, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires. Genesis 41:16. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Instead of complaining about your circumstances, find ways to add value and bring solutions. 1. The Multiplication Code, building wealth in famine. Joseph's greatest financial strategy was multiplication. He didn't just store wealth, he expanded it. During Egypt's 7 years of plenty, Joseph implemented a wealth-building system that made Pharaoh richer during the famine than before. Genesis 41 verses 48 and 49. Joseph collected all the food produced in those 7 years of abundance. The grain was like the sand of the sea. It was so much that he stopped keeping records. In times of crisis, multiply your resources. Start a side business, invest, and prepare for the future instead of living paycheck to paycheck. 1. The Generational Wealth Code, leaving a legacy. Joseph didn't just prosper for himself, he secured a future for his family and his entire nation. In Genesis 47 verse 27 it says that the Israelites acquired property there and were fruitful and increased greatly. The Israelites settled in Egypt in the region of Goshen. They acquired property there and were fruitful and increased greatly. Don't just think about short-term money, think long-term wealth. Invest, leave an inheritance, and build something lasting for your children. So now that we've unlocked Joseph's wealth code, what's stopping you from prospering in any crisis? Recap the Vision Code, seeing beyond the crisis. The Stewardship Code, managing resources wisely. The Crisis Code, turning setbacks into setups. The Multiplication Code, building wealth in famine. The Generational Wealth Code, leaving a legacy. Which of these principles resonates with you the most? Comment below. And if you want to keep unlocking more Bible wealth secrets, make sure to subscribe to the Kingdom Wealth Code channel and hit the notification bell. Because in our next video, we'll uncover the David Code, how a shepherd became a king.